So my name's Chris. I've been coming to TC for a little over 2 years now. So before TC, I was actually living in New Jersey. That's where I was born and raised. I was born in a Christian home, raised in a Christian home. There was this emptiness I couldn't necessarily explain. Even now, I couldn't really explain because everything on paper seemed great. Like, I had family at home that loved me, I had friends that loved me, had a great job and everything. But there's just something that I couldn't explain that I just kind of felt empty. My job gave me a promotion, so I moved down here. At the time, I originally thought that God was giving me the promotion for my job. And then later I realized that it wasn't necessarily about the job, it was about the church that I needed to be at. I just Googled churches in Pensacola. The first option was Church Chicken. The second option was TC. Now I love chicken, but I needed a church. So then when I moved down here, my first day was a Sunday. I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? So I got up and I went to TC at AMC at the time, and it blew me away. It was actually in June of 2020 is when TC had the outdoor service. And when I met Erica out there, she invited me out Thursday to rehearsal, because at the time we were still streaming. So we would practice Thursday and then do a live stream on Sunday. So she invited me out Thursday. And so I just kind of came out and hung around. And then I remember them inviting me out to lunch afterwards. And I'm like, y'all are a bunch of crazy people. Because like, you guys don't know me. We're in the middle of a pandemic and you're still gonna let me out, but all right. Because I started to realize that it wasn't, that even before they knew who I was, they already loved me. And that was a big, that was a big moment that I didn't know I needed. And then when we moved into the, into our new sanctuary and everything, is when I officially took on lighting. One of the things I love about it is it allows me to use my creativity that God gave me to really help worship Him in ways that maybe people don't realize that you can use to worship Him. I got really involved with our young adult and small groups. Nate came and introduced himself to me. After that, we kind of all hit it off. I joined the small groups. And one of the best things about that is that it really drew me closer to other people and to God as well. And that even moments where I just was not having a good day, I could reach out to them and they're always there for me. If I just need prayer about anything, they're always there for me. Or if I just need to say, hey, I'm doing amazing, they're excited with me. So when I started to notice that things were different, when I was more honest with myself, I started to realize my own faults. And then also I was giving more surrenderance to God. I never did before, but I started like raising my hands in worship. Because I just felt this peace that I couldn't explain, that I knew was more than me. And then just the way that everyone treated me, treated everyone around me, I could tell that this was the place that God called me to be. I feel fulfilled here, feeling of joy and this feeling of self-worth and this feeling of all this that I didn't have. One thing I've been learning is that I still have a way to go, and I know that's okay now, and I know that God's working in me through all of this. Best way I can explain what God's done in me is to show me what true joy looks like and what true friendship and family looks like.